What up, everybody? It's early morning. This is Left Side of the Brain. Go ahead, do us a favor, hit that likes button and hit the subscribe button. That's right. I told y'all that this is a underground channel, and I move whenever I get ready and feel like it. Okay, this is not like any other thing you have ever experienced in your life or ever seen in your life. I'm your host for today's live stream, Left Side of the Brain. A stranger to some and a familiar person to others. Okay, let's dive right into it. Like a swimming pool on a hot summer day. Today's topic is reasons why you should not give a fuck. That's right. Reasons why you should not give a fuck. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we live in a world where everything is based on your emotional feelings, which are connected to your five senses of taste, touch, hear, see, and smell. And with that being a fact, alongside with the the fact that over 99% of everybody is ignorant, you shouldn't even be putting yourself in a situation where you feel like you should give a fuck. Think about that. You're living in a world where over 99% of the motherfuckers in this world, they don't care about none of this shit we be speaking about. They don't give a fuck. And you might say, why do you say 99%? You got to think about it like this. Whenever you have a soul, and see, one thing, you'll never meet everybody in this world. That's a given fact. But if you in a room full of people and you have this type of information and you in a room with 100 people, you may as well say 99% of the motherfuckers in this world, they don't give a fuck about none of this shit we speaking about. So that's why I say 99% of the people, okay? Because you're never going to meet everybody. You always going to be in a situation where you're in a room full of people and the maximum of people is probably 75, or you may go to a store and it may be 20 people in the drugstore at the time. But when you do the percentage of wherever you go, if you're a person like myself, you're going to realize that you are always going to be in the low percentile. So you always going to be the one out of the 100, making it 99% of the people around you will be ignorant to the things that we speak about. Okay? So, it comes to a point where you just have to say, there is no reason to be giving a fuck about anything in this world. As a matter of fact, a person who is enlightened, like myself and some of you, you have to start realizing that you in this world by yourself. So really, and this may sound bad, you should be as selfish as you can be. And we have spoke about this before. Spiritual selfishness. But in 2020, you should be taking it to the maximum. Really. Because we already have the understanding that these people, they don't get the things we speak about. When you walk out your front door in the morning, you are walking into a world full of zombies. Zombies, man. Soulless people. So you got to look at it this way. They only care about how some food tastes, how that dress look on that girl. Only thing a woman care about is how she looks in her new hairstyle. Only thing she care about you, the only thing she care about as far as you go as a man is how big your dick is, how much money you got in your pocket, what kind of car you drive, how much money you make on your job. Everything in this world is connected to the lower senses of yourself. See, we made up of two components. You have the spiritual sense, your spiritual sense self, and then your physical sense self. Okay? Those are the two components that make you up. And in this world, as we've already laid out, 99% of all these motherfuckers, they just live in a physical sense. So that means everything you do other than what they do will not make sense to them. Okay? So in reality, you don't have no choice but to not give a fuck. I mean, really. And I'm at the point, I look at these people like they not shit. I don't care what nobody say. That's the level I'm at right now. I live in my own world. I was quarantined before the quarantine took place. I've been living like that. As a matter of fact, you should, you know what? I don't care if they pass homosexual legal rights. I want them to do it. I was thinking about that this morning. That's why I'm doing this live stream right now. I want them to pass every law that goes against nature. I want them to do all that they do. I want them to do it. Because you know why? I don't give a fuck about them. I don't want them to be holding back for my benefit. If you are an animal, then be an animal. You get what I'm saying? I want these people to be as much of animals that they can be. I don't want them faking. You know, if they're gonna bring out the mark of the beast, let them do it. I want them to bring out the microchip, the mark of the beast. I want them to start vaccinating people. I want all of that stuff to happen. Because if that's what it is, then stop playing fucking games with us. This is 2020, the year of 2020 vision. I want a backstabber to be a motherfucking backstabber. If you a whore, be a motherfucking hoe. If you a whatever you are, just be it. Stop giving a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here in this world to be teaching people, these motherfuckers, not don't do that. I don't care what they do. I don't give a fuck. Because I know who I am. And once I realized who I was, then everything else, all of the cares of this world, all of that stuff just disappeared. Once you realize who you are, all that other shit will disappear. You know? Even when it comes to like, we talked about the organic portal males and the organic portal females. Like, even when it comes down to how women select men, how they choose certain men who they be with. Now I know some of you men, you probably wondered why it seemed like the best looking females always end up with the worst kind of men. You know why you feel that way? Because you still living in your mind that because you have a good sense of spiritual knowledge that other people are like that. But they not. Women don't judge men based upon spiritual knowledge and because this man is subscribed to the left side of the brain channel, then I want to bend over for him and have his kids. They don't give a fuck about that shit. At the end of the day, men on this planet, we fight each other for supremacy. Fighting is just based upon can your brute force overpower my brute force? That's what it boils down to. So, and that's how these women choose men. Ignorant men, they go to war with each other. Ignorant men who don't know the information we know, they on battlefields right now fighting each other, killing each other. And then they take the spoils of the war for themselves. And then they build worlds that's not based on the information that we appreciate. They build a world totally opposite of this. They build a world based upon greed, lust, my car bigger than yours, my dick longer than yours, my girl got a fatter butt than yours. And that's how these women think. So, it dawned upon me that in this type of world, man, you just got to let them have it. Just let them have it. Just let it go. Just let it go. When you see the news reports, don't even participate in voting, man. Just let all of this shit go. Because they're going to do what they do. We living in the human prison bar realm and there's no way around it. And since the only thing that they understand is brute force, and is your force greater than my force? Is your violence greater than my violence? Can you out manipulate me, or can I out manipulate you? That's all these people care about. It's all about violence and manipulation at the end of the day. Even when that sun rises, it's early in the morning right now. But even when that sun rises, it's like on your mark, get set, go. Then the streets start filling up with cars. And then it's the same old violence and manipulation game that's been playing out year after year after year. And you still got stupid people running around here thinking you're going to change these people. Let these people be, man. Let them be. And because this world is based upon violent force versus violent force, it's going to end in violence. This world is not going to end based upon left side of the brain and what he's saying, and people going to have this grand epiphany and they're going to get this insight and be like, all of a sudden, oh, you know what? Everybody should just come together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya. That's never going to happen. We living in a ignorant cesspool, man. This is what the human prison bar realm is. It's an ignorant cesspool. And every day, them demonic motherfuckers are coming together and they having more children and more children. We outnumbered, people. It's more of them than us. It's us versus them. That's the secret wars, man. We outnumbered in this thing. So we shouldn't be out here running our mouth. When you dealing with these people, deal with them like animals, man. That's what I do. I don't talk to them about nothing. If I meet a girl out here, look, sometimes I meet girls out here, I'll text words miscorrect, like spelled miscorrect, incorrectly spelled, because I want them to think I'm stupid. Because stupid respects stupid. But when I'm before the Jaguar community, I'm speaking and I'm acting like this. But when I'm out there amongst them, I'm doing the same manipulation that they are doing. But I'm doing it against them. I don't do that when I'm with people like myself. But when I'm operating around that crowd, them trivial humans establishing mayhem, I treat them like such. They're not worth anything better, man. They're not worth anything better. And that's how you got to look at this world, man. I look at this world through the lens of reality. The only thing I see positive in this world is the trees, the sunlight, the oxygen, the flowers, the grass. Other than that, I don't even see these people. And that's the same way they see you, man. Everything in this world is based upon taking advantage of the next person. And here's another thing. If somebody haven't thought it out this deep yet, that means they are your enemy. I'm telling you, because it's 2020. If you see a person, let's say for example, it's early in the morning right now, when you leave your house today and you come across a person and they don't know this type of stuff, they're your enemy. You might say, why you say that, left side of the brain? Because when the rubber meets the road, they will turn you in when that time comes. When they start passing out these identification cards, and when those microchip implants come out, those ignorant people that you think are just nonchalant and they not bothering nobody, if you are ignorant, you are bothering the righteous people because your presence is annoying. Ignorant people annoy me, man. Even when I try to ignore them, the very fact that they exist on this planet is a nuisance to me. Every time you go out your house in the morning, man, you got to see and put up with the same kind of people. And it's like you be saying to yourself, I'm learning all this information. Even you who are listening to me right now, you know why you're listening to me right now? Because it was meant for you to listen. And I noticed that it's the same people that's listening right now who be at every live stream. You catch it. You catch the live streams whether I announce it or not. That's not by coincidence. It's something inside of you that's plugged into what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? So that's why you be catching the live streams. You always hear the notification. That's not by coincidence. So it's like, and you be saying to yourself when you be around these people, you be saying, I'm constantly building in my mind. I'm learning more and more information every day. If that's happening to you and you are building on an incline, guess what's happening to them? They getting worse. They on a decline every day. And every day they going down lower and lower and lower. And you going higher and higher and higher. That's where we separating at. Intelligence on the incline, ignorance on the decline, and in between the two It's the separation. That's the distance between us and them. What separates people in reality, it's not centimeters and inches between me and you. I can be standing in a train in New York City on the subway, packed like sardines, but yet I can be light years away from everybody in that train. The distance between me and them is like the distance between the earth and the sun. That's how far. That's how far apart our worlds is. We totally unalike. And the only thing that's keeping us here on this earth is the fact that we are in a physical body that gravity has a pull upon. Other than that, we wouldn't be here. We in a physical body that gravity can attract to the earth. So we just not floating, into space. And we are living in a system that's built against us. This system is not built upon what we view the world as. And when I say we, I mean United Souls. This system is not built for us. It's built to keep us imprisoned. It's built to make us, second guess ourselves. But I'm past the stage of second guessing. I don't doubt anything I say. I don't doubt you are a human prison bar, mister. You are a human prison bar, Mrs. I don't doubt that. I know that. That's a fact. That's a fact. This ain't no myth. This human prison bar stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no game. This not entertainment. This is real. More reasons why you shouldn't give a fuck. Because number one, you giving a fuck, it won't change anything. That's the biggest reason. You giving a fuck about how this world is and the condition of this world, it's not going to change anything. Because the person giving a fuck, when you die, the people you was giving a fuck about, you best believe they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about if you dead or alive. Only thing people are concerned about in this world is if you can do something to boost their ego. It's simple as that. This world is centered and it revolves around the ego. We live in an ego-driven world. People cause the problems. People that have the wrong state of mind, that's the problem that we have to deal with. Because let me give you an example. And I'm writing this in the book too. It's included in the book. Let me give you an example. Let's just say, for example, you was in a world by yourself. Okay? You were surrounded by trees, water, grass, all of the fruit from the trees, everything you needed to exist. And let's just say you was never introduced to anybody else other than yourself. You knew nothing else about other humans, just like the Adam story, okay? You was in a garden by yourself. You had no other influence of human beings, okay? That means you would be in a environment where you would be totally selfish because the only thing that you could think about is yourself. But that wouldn't mean that you were doing something bad. You wouldn't have no other choice but to be selfish. It would just be you. But your selfishness, it wouldn't be hurting anybody. Okay? Now, imagine in this world, you had all the food you needed. Okay? And also in this world, you didn't have no competition. There was no other human prison bars around you telling you that you're not good enough because you don't make X amount of dollars a year. There wouldn't be no women around you saying, I don't want to date you because Rob, he makes more money than you and he drives a better car than you. There wouldn't be no one to tell you that you're ugly. There wouldn't be no one to tell you that, oh, you're too short for me. Oh, in order to get on this ride, you got to be at least 5 feet. There wouldn't be nobody to create a social status that you would have to live up to. So you know what that means? That's the only way that you can truly have freedom is when you are by yourself. That's why I said all that I said. You can only experience freedom when you are truly by yourself. Because the moment you start introducing other humans, you have introduced competition, you have introduced judgment upon you, you have introduced having to worry about what other people might do to you. And then you have to worry about people taking advantage of you because they have egos and they want to be on top and they want to keep you at the bottom. So when people come into the picture, or when they came into the picture, guess what happened? As the world population grew, so did the human prison bar system. The human prison bar system is a manifestation of groups and crowds and crowds and crowds of people. And most of them are ignorant people. That's the origin of the human prison bar system. And all of the 6 laws that governs that system. And then you end up in the midst of all of that, having that idea in your mind that I wish they would just go away, but you're stuck. Then you become an introvert. Being an introvert, part of that comes from you wishing they would just go away. Because you realize that most people who have social anxieties and different type of mental disorders, it's not coming from them, because if they lived in a world like that example I gave by themselves, they wouldn't have those social disorders and those anxieties and all of those type of things. Those things can only exist when you're living around a bunch of judgmental motherfuckers who live for the reasons of greed, lust, and sex. That's why people end up fearing other people, because they know that we live in a world based upon greed, lust, and sex. And when you live in that type of world, the competition will do anything to gain greed, lust, and sex. They'll do anything to gain whatever it takes to feed that hunger for lust and sex and greed. They have to fulfill those desires by any means necessary. And this is another thing. An ignorant person can never be satisfied. So that's another reason why you shouldn't give a fuck. Because no matter what you do for them, it would never satisfy them. Haven't you noticed people work a job from the time they 18 to the time they die? And no matter how much you do far as work, you still work till you have debt. So you never worked enough to have worked enough to not have to work. Because as long as you live in this world, they're gonna keep piling bills on top of bills on top of bills. So you always going to be stuck in a situation where you have to keep making more and more income. Because this world mirrors the type of people I just explained. You can never satisfy them. So the world is the same way. You can never do enough work to where you get to a point that they're going to stop giving you bills and you're going to have enough to where you don't have to worry about replacing the money that you spent. So it reflects the type of people who run this world. But the nature we live in, it's not like that. The nature we live in, it doesn't make you have to worry about the income that you spend. Okay? Going back to that example I used. If you was the only person in a world where you was never introduced to any other human beings, you could eat for the rest of your life and would never have to worry about where you're going to get your next apple from, because there would be an abundance of it. You see? But in a world that was taken over by HPBs, that type of world system, you can never be good enough. You could never do enough. You can never satisfy them. So why give a fuck about a world that you can never be good enough? That you can never do enough? You get what I'm saying? That's the type of world we live in. So why worry about them? It's 8 a.m. My alarm just came on. I don't know what time it is where you at, but where I'm at, I'm on the East Coast. It's 8 a.m. 8 a.m. in the morning. So what? I was up early. I didn't even go to sleep last night. I was up all night thinking about stuff, and then I was like, let me break out this camera and talk to these people, man. I was like, this is not even scheduled, but I don't even give a fuck. I was like, let me just hit them up with this live stream, Yeah, I told you I won't be back till the book was completed. I'm still sticking with that, but hey, the spirit led me to do this, so I had to do it, That's what it is, man. Like, I work, I come home, and I just chill by myself, man. I might hit up some occasional pussy every now and then, but other than that, I don't even be sweating that shit, man. Girls and relationships and all that shit. I could give a damn about that shit, because even when it comes to women, man, like, all of that stuff is just a temporary it's just a temporary thing, man. It's like eating a peach. Once you eat it, it's gone with. It's gone, man. You wash your hands, dry your hands off. That's the same thing you do when you have sex with a woman. You clean up behind yourself, and then you go take a shower. Just like after you eat. Just like after you go play basketball with your boys or whatever. After you done, you just come home, take a shower, and then you separate and you part ways. I don't be getting connected with these people. Only thing I connect with is the God who gives me this information. And that's all you should be connecting with. And of course, subscribe to this channel, because this channel is a gateway, not a gateway, but an outlet of the information. I'm telling y'all, if you unsubscribe to every channel on YouTube and you just stayed plugged into the Left Side of the Brain channel, you would be okay. If this was the only show playing on your TV, you would be good. because we bring the raw reality, the 100% unadulterated truth on this channel. That's why y'all don't hear nothing else on YouTube like this, because I don't play no games. This is not no game. This ain't no channel that's all decorated. I don't have no opening theme song. And this channel is raw, man. It's raw, raw, raw. This is real. Even with this corona stuff, I want them to do what they're going to do. I heard that a couple states have already mandated that. I think it's about 7 states. I think it's Florida, Georgia, New York, California, Maryland. What's the other 2 states? Somebody tell us in the comment section. But those states have already mandated that you wear a mask when you come outside of the house. Yep, that's a fact. And I heard Trump speaking today. He was talking about injecting people. They got this new injecting people to disinfect them. Yeah, that's what they were speaking about. So as you see, all of this stuff is leading to just the one world government system. But it's already, we already in the one world government system. So when you hear people say that, they 10, 20, 30, 40 years behind. We just going deeper into it. And another thing, the spirit showed me this. When you see this system, when you see all of these stores and stuff closed down, you know what that should tell you? You know what that's telling you? That this thing is about to die. Now, you got to look at it like a metaphor. You know when somebody's about to die, their organs start shutting down, different parts of their body, and then they just deceased. That's what's happening to this world system. These stores and things shutting down is a sign that the system itself is dying. That's why that's why businesses are closed down. The system is dying. It's a metaphor of what's taking place both spiritually and physically to this earthly HPB realm as we know it. This thing is shutting down. It's closing down. That's right. And you should want it to happen. We shouldn't be like, oh, I'm ready for things to go back to normal. If you thinking like that, what do you mean you ready for things to go back to normal? You telling me you believe that before this corona quarantine that things were normal? That's not normal. It's not even normal for you to think that's normal. They were even doing protests. They had people doing back to work protests. How many of you saw that on the news? These back to work protests that they was having. I was saying to myself, look at these idiots out here. They got people so trained to be slaves that they will protest to go back to work. That means people want to be slaves. Why don't anybody ever protest to get rid of the present day work system and exchange it for something else that's better than this system? That would be normal. It's not normal for people to protest to go back to work. That's not normal. That's abnormal. A normal person would be able to look at the world, look out their window, and see all of this acreage of land. And then A normal person would question, with all of this land, why are people squeezed in together in these urban cities like this? Why, with all of this food, you have starving people? That's what a normal person would be thinking. A normal person wouldn't be like, let's go back to work. Let's go back to work. Basically, translation, let's go back to doing the same stuff. Let's go back to doing the same stuff. That's all they saying. They robots. These people are organic robots. That's why on my channel, I stopped using the term um, organic portal, because everybody is an organic portal. The only thing an organic portal means, you are made out of the same material that everybody else is made out of, pretty much. Dirt. When you die, you're going to decompose and go back into the soil. That's why I don't say the organic portal. That's why I came up with the human prison bar thing, because it explains it better to me. Everybody is an organic portal. Everybody is a portal, because anybody can be used to be a portal to bring a new baby into the world. You see what I'm saying? So that organic portal thing, it wasn't good enough for me. Now, if you go back in my videos, you may see a video titled Organic Portal, but I stopped using that terminology because it's deeper than that. And that's why I came out with like the human prison bar thing and start explaining it and going into details to show people that this thing, it operates based upon laws. Nothing in this universe operates without having laws to make it run properly. Okay? So likewise, the human prison bar realm is made up and governed by a set of laws and principles that governs the human prison bar realm. Okay? Certain things can't be broken, like water freezes at 32 below. It starts to unthaw at 33 degrees. Okay? Certain principles like that you can't shake. They're here to stay. The bread and butter. And on this channel, we just give you the basics so you understand what you're dealing with. Us versus them. The secret wars. Human prison bars. And don't get caught up in the illusion of same. You know what the illusion of same is? It's when you see people in a mass and you say to yourself, I see this crowd of people. Oh, they just like me because they going to work like me and they getting in their car and cranking the car up like me. So what left side of the brain saying, there's hope in the world. These are just people with problems. And no, they got problems, but guess what? We got the problem solver. We got a soul. You see, they seem like they the same because they have relationship problems, like you may have relationship problems, but it's deeper than that. What really separates us from them is the fact we have a soul and they don't. What is a soul? A collection of information that goes all the way back to the time of the great falling away. Now, I don't know how many of you have been on this channel since the beginning, since the old channel, the veterans on this channel. You understand the information going all the way back to like 2014. Some of the new people, they might not understand all of the basics of the Jaguar community. You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking the other day, I was like, what's a Jaguar? What is the Jaguar community? The Jaguar community is made up of people like yourself. We are organized, but yet we are not organized. We don't have a organized system like we meet in a building or something like that. We organize in the information. I don't know you personally. You don't know me personally. Okay? You don't know the sun personally, but you still need it to live. You get what I'm saying? But you know the information that the sun sends you. Light that the sun shines. Not only does it provide you with vitamin D and it provides all of the green vegetation with the necessary photons, which causes photosynthesis. Not only does it do that, but more importantly, my point is, you don't know the sun. You've never touched the sun, but yet the sun touches you. So what I'm saying is this information is like light of the sun. We live off of this. We feed each other. We may not know each other, but we know the light and what the light exposes. So when I read your comments and you enlighten me about something, or when I say something that enlightens you, that's the connection that the Jaguar community has. That's what we possess. That type of connection can never be broken down. They can never arrest one of us and get rid of all of us. No, because we live based upon information. In fact, I don't care about knowing any one of you personally. I know you by your information. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what sex you are. Only thing I care about is your information. When we sharing information, that's the only thing I care about. Because I understand the rest of you, the other parts that you are made up of as a human being, consist of the same things that those human prison bars are made up of, which is hunger, lust, greed, and those type of things. So I don't care to know those parts anyway. I don't care if you got a bad character, a bad personality. Only thing I'm concerned about, what type of information is this man, or sometimes a woman may bring some information. What type of information is this motherfucker bringing to the table? That's all I care about. So when I was thinking, I was like, that's what it means to be a Jaguar. Okay? And that's something they can't break down. You see? It's a mentality. You can't destroy a mentality. You can't. You can't destroy somebody's mentality. A natural mentality like this, you can't destroy it. That's the truth. So that's what a Jaguar is. It's staying within your own world. When I walk around this world, man, I say to myself, I'm on this earth by myself, but it's just other people walking around me. But I'm here by myself. Born alone, die alone. Death is the reality of life. That all this, wow, you were alone by yourself. Death is the reality of life. Birth is the reality of life. Birth is the reality of death. Death is the reality of birth. Born alone, die alone. So everything in between birth and death is an illusion. All these people saying, hey, how you doing? All them fake hays and bars. And I was at the store yesterday, and this girl who working there, she was like, I looked at her, she looked at me, I didn't say nothing. Then she said, okay, have a good day. I was like, all right, you too. I just played along with it. I walked out, said to myself, I was like, that was so fake. I mean, it even felt fake. It was just fake. I was like, all right, but I played along with it because I don't let them know that I know. I just play along with it. I said, okay, you two. Just walked away, got out of my car, cranked it up, and don't even give a fuck about the girl. She was one of them. She was one of them, and it felt fake because she knew I wasn't a part of her community. And likewise, I knew that she wasn't a part of my community. And we didn't even have to say it. We just felt it. And we just separated and went our different ways. And that's how it is. Even though I may have been, physically attracted to her. You can be sexually attracted to a HPB, but that don't mean anything. You could have sex and fuck a HPB. That don't mean anything. You could get up from having sex with that girl, walk out, pretend like you like her and hug her and all of that and say to yourself, I already know you a piece of shit human prison boy. Fuck you. I just wanted to have sex. So what? If you do that, so what? Because they're going to leave you at the drop of a dime. Because you probably say, damn, left side of the brain, how could you say that? That's bad. That's because you think they have some type of morality in them. When you said that's bad, that's because you think that they are good, but they not. So when you said that in response to what I just said, you basically telling me and yourself you still got some growing to do. Because you believing that morality befits them when it doesn't. Only thing they care about is their ego. So when you in a relationship with a HPB, you're not building them up spiritually anyway. You only building them up in their ego. They don't care about none of this stuff we saying. This is not on their mind. This is not on their radar. This is not them. Treat them like a car seat. You get in a car, you sit in the car, you don't care about the seat, but the seat, you just using the seat to sit in. And then when you get up out the car, you don't say goodbye to the seat and you just leave it. It's dead, just like these people. Just leave them. They dead. No compassion for them. None of that. Birth and death is the only reality. It shows you are all alone. Everything that takes place between birth and death, it's an illusion and it's a human prison ballroom to get you trapped up in it, to make you think it's real. Because again, what do we always say? The human prison ballroom is what? Is parasitical in nature. So it feeds off of you. It gets you frustrated. It creates all of those mental anxieties and all of those psychological problems and you're a social misfit and you're an outcast. You only think you're an outcast when you're around a bunch of people who are not on your mental level. I told y'all, all of them social diagnoses that they give you, it comes from being around a bunch of ignorant people. I'm telling you. If you was in this world by yourself, you don't gotta worry about somebody understanding you. Why don't they just understand me? Why don't you just understand me? That's because you're living for others and not for yourself. You should stop giving a fuck about people understanding you. Just live, man. If you got transgenders out here, they don't give a fuck about walking around in a dress and they a man and a woman um taking testosterone shots to grow a beard. They living free, man. We the ones that's thinking about, oh, let's change them. They not thinking about um us like that. They just going on doing their thing. It be us because we be applying our moral compass of the world. And I've been guilty of that too in my life. When you trying to apply your moral compass of the world upon everybody else, and then you start feeling, well, why the world so bad like this? It's supposed to be bad. You haven't woke up to that yet? What do you think this is? I don't know what y'all think this is, man. Why the world getting like this? It's supposed to get like this. You in a world with 99 billion dumb, stupid motherfuckers. What you think it's supposed to be like? Heaven? Get real. Well, the president is cheating us. He's supposed to cheat you. What you think? You think, okay, it's impossible for people to treat other people without trying to cheat them in some kind of way. All of these banks, all of these schools, all of these politicians, all of these companies, all these Fortune 500 CEOs, it's impossible for them to do business in a just manner because nobody trusts anybody. Deers don't even trust anything. You ever seen a deer drinking water? You ever seen a fear and panic on the face of a deer? See how they eyes, every moment it's like they ready to sprint. They ready to sprint off in the distance. Just like when you see a squirrel crawling out a tree. Notice the fear that's on this planet, man. When you see a squirrel crawling from a tree, he's looking around. It looks like any moment he's just ready to sprint because there is no trust in this world. Nothing trusts anything. So in a world like that, based upon fear, why do you think there would be any room for people to be not trying to get over the next person? That's all people ever do. People wake up to see where they can take an advantage of the situation to benefit them. That's what all politics is about. That's what all wars are about. Even when you going to be entertained at these ball games that you go to, you basically looking at a lesson of life that you don't really understand that's what you're looking at. Subconsciously, a basketball game is telling you that these athletes are trying to take advantage of each other so they can win the game over the next team. Though it's entertainment, it's still a lesson in it that you can apply to real life. Businesses. McDonald's is competing with Burger King. Burger King is competing with Wendy's. Everybody is competing with each other. So when you go to a game and you see the Chicago Bulls playing the Indiana Pacers, you're seeing competition. One team trying to beat the other team. That represents life. Everything is about competition. That's what it's all about. So when So in a situation that's based upon the ego, everybody is just out to win. Like, think about it. When you in your everyday life, like a Black Friday event, like that video I did. When it's crowds and crowds of people, that's when people get more animal like because it's all about competition, survival of the fittest. I got to get that last pair of shoes on the rack before you get it. You get what I'm saying? The more you are around people, the more you have to abide by the social constructs of the human prison bar system. Going out into that society every day, it's like being on a prison yard. Can't trust nobody. You in a weight room, somebody might come down on your head with a weight. You got to always be on point. Y'all see what I'm saying? You got to always stay on point. That's why that's why I suggest people like us, we stay to ourselves. That's the best way you can live as a jaguar. That's why I chose the jaguar to be the mascot of our community because the jaguar represents that solo lifestyle. I see you, but you can't see me. That's how jaguars live. We in the cut, we looking at you, but you don't see me. I'm in the bushes, I'm looking at you, but you don't see me. And it's better that way. It's better I know about you. I would rather know more about how you are than you being able to do a live stream telling human prison bars what United Soul people are like. See, they can't break down what we are like because they don't understand our nature. But we can go in and talk about their nature because we have that nature that they have as well. We have all of those lower nature desires, but we also have more than that. You see? So they can't speak upon what we are. Only thing they can do is notice that something just different about us. They'll say, something not right about Joe. Every time he comes around, something, I don't know what it is, but something's not right about Joe. I don't know what it is. Then their eyes will be on you. Your conversation is different. Or maybe the way you walk or talk or your interests and hobbies are different. You see what I'm saying? And then that makes them start to treat you different. And then you start saying to yourself, I got to be more like them in order to fit in. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Then they start ganging up on you, making it hard for you on your job. Women start leaving you. That's another thing too. People like us forget about relationships and long-term relationships. They're never going to work out. You know why? Because you're too different. See, most of these people you see out here in these relationships, marriages and things, I call them demon couples. You know what? I spoke about that too. How many of y'all remember I was at a shopping center and I pointed the camera to this couple and I was talking about the demon couples. That's true. These HPBs, they pair up together. I call them demon couples. And what they do is they have children And it looks like they are bonded and that they are a tight-knit family, but really they demonic. They made to go against us. They made to make us feel like why I'm not married, or why I don't have kids, or why no woman will stick around me as long as she sticks around with that man, because they demon couples. Demons get along. It's like this. If you a righteous man and these women in this world want to be around you like this, you got to question yourself. They're not going to be able to fit in your lifestyle because you too different, man. So don't get caught up into looking at these demon couples out here. These people are demons. They made to go along with each other. These are demons coming together. See, I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna give you a secret. This whole entire world is fake. We not, as spiritual people, we not supposed to be even working jobs, but we have to by necessity. But the truth is, the people on the jobs, they are just decoys, and they carry jobs to make us have to work. It's not even for them. They are the human prison bars. They work to make us have to work. They exist and create this type of world so we can be locked down inside of it. You get what I'm saying? I don't think y'all got what I said. I'm gonna repeat. When you see people on jobs, 99% of these people, they were created to work, to create the illusion that work is necessary when it's not. They created this type of workforce world and money and all of that to make us have to succumb to something unnatural. That's what the human prison bar realm is built upon, the unnatural. And that's why people like us are not made the CEO, the boss, the manager. They're not going to let us go but so high up in the hierarchy because it's not made for us to excel in their system. Because if we took over the system, we would destroy and get rid of their system. You get what I'm saying? So their system is made for them, is ran by them, is operated by them, is created by them, and we have to work in it because they made it that way. They don't want us to be free. So we have to, by necessity, we have to adapt. But see, it's a difference between adapting and selling out. So don't conflate the two. Adapting is understanding that you got to do what you have to do to feed yourself. Selling out is when you compromise your spirituality in order to feed yourself. That's the difference between selling out and adapting. Okay? So we just doing what we got to do to make it from 24 hours to the next 24 hours. It's funny I say that because we have exactly 24 people in the chat right now. It says 24. We got 24 people with only 10 thumbs up. Let's get on our job. Everybody hit the likes button right now. Everybody hit the likes button. We should have 24 likes. That's how we clap our hands in here. We represent hand claps by hitting the like button. Everybody hit the like button. One person hit it. It went up to 11. Everybody hit the likes button. We got 24 people in here. Everybody hit the like button. Somebody else just hit it. It went up to 12. 13. Another person just came in the room. All the new people who just came in the room, hit the like button. Let's see if we can be on one accord to do that. This is a test in itself. Let me see, can people be on one accord to do something as simple as everybody hitting the like button? 18 people. We got 26 people in the house. Everybody hit the like button. I'm going to stop saying it, but see, I do little stuff like that just to see, is it possible for everybody to be on one accord? Still got people holding out for whatever reason. Maybe they thinking, well, I'm not going to listen to what he say. Their ego probably don't want them to hit the likes button. That's why I'm telling y'all, man, ego and things like that is the reason why a whole bunch of people living in one world will never be able to get along together. Ignorance and intelligence, it will never mix. You can shake oil and water in a bottle all day, and that water will never mix. It'll never mix. So and that's just an analogy for some of you who still out here trying to tell people this stuff. Oil and water don't mix. You will be telling these hard-headed people the right way all day long, and they'll never get it. And you'll be figuring out, and you'll be thinking, why not? Why don't they get it like I get it? You know why? Because, you know what I'm going to start saying? You the dumb one. You should know by now. It's not even them. Them not getting it doesn't make them dumb. It means they peak at a certain level of understanding. You get what I'm saying? You who have the understanding, you are actually downgrading your level of intelligence when you try to force feed stuff to people. You can't force feed things to a person who has maxed out at a certain level of understanding. That's as far as they can go. You have the ability to excel. So why are you trying to come back down? It's 2020. What did we say? No more looking back. The year of 2020 vision. Dang, I've been talking for 1 hour and 13 minutes. Wow. Time really seems like it don't exist when you talking about stuff like this. You're not even aware of time. It's like, because I'm speaking truth right now. You know? I'm just thinking right now. I'm just meditating. That's why I got quiet. I'm just meditating right now. When you walk out that door, man, only thing I'm saying to y'all, don't forget the stuff we speak out on this channel. This is for the chosen few, the minority. So when you go outside today, I surprised y'all this morning. No one was expecting this. I wasn't even expecting this. So this was the spirit. When have I did a live stream at 8 in the morning? I might start doing this. What y'all think? Start doing this, like these pep talks early in the morning? You know what? I might start doing this. Maybe I'll do like when the summer, because summertime coming up, I can do like nature walks in the morning and just doing these live streams. People riding to work can be listening, and that'll be cool. Really, y'all know what I really plan on doing? What the direction I'm taking my life? I want to do this 24/7, and God has opened the way for me to do it, where I can do this 24/7. Well, all day long, I'm just doing live streams and selling merchandise like my books and, you know, of course, having ways that people can, uh, support the channel and then do like conferences. That's what I want to do like full time. Cause y'all know I'm about to open up that Afrimanian Center. I haven't even hit y'all with that yet, but we gonna do that. That Afrimanian thing. As soon as I get this book edited, I'm gonna start pushing that Afrimanianism, that Afrimanian concept. You know, that's what I'm doing this year. Like we got like May, June, July, August, September, all of these hot months, and we gonna make it hot. That's what I'm working on. Cause I want to do this stuff like full time. You know what I'm saying? It was my dream, and it still is my dream. I always wanted to build a cob house. Some of you like, what is a cob house? A cob house is one of those houses that's built out of natural earth materials where they take like stubble and mud and water and they mix it together and you can build your house from scratch. And a cob house is very cheap to build. You can build one for about under like $5,000. Like your door frame and all of your window frames, all of the components of the house you can get from like thrift shops and like Lowe's for very cheap. Um, if you don't know about it, they got videos on YouTube and you can see some very nice cob houses. Good thing about a cob house, you don't have to pay mortgage. You can decorate the house. Your hands built the house from mud, from the ground up. I always wanted to do that. And you can have like solar panels on your roof. That's a beautiful way to live to me. That cob house. And I'm an artist as well, so you can like paint the walls and decorate the inside of it. This your homework assignment. Look up cob houses. COBB houses on YouTube. When you get a chance, Google cob houses and you'll see what I'm talking about. I was actually going to sign up for a cob house retreat. I had Googled one time and I found a group who was actually giving courses on building cob houses. So they do have groups out here that actually partake in things like that. You just gotta search and you can, like the Bible says, seek and you shall find. One thing about this world though, and one thing about this life, it is what it is, but at the same time, everything is here for you to do whatever you want to do. You can make your life into whatever you want it to be. If you want to buy a Winnebago, like I plan to do one day, you know those campers, and you just drive around the country and hook up at a camper stop, hook up for the night, take your showers, and they got nice Winnebagos. I'm not talking about nothing that's cheap and shabby. No, I mean they got like luxurious on the inside and outside. So you can live that travel life, that nomad life if you want to. I mean, Trust me, I've did it before, but not at the level I wanted to do it at. I remember one time I didn't even have a place to live, and I was living out of the back of my Jeep, but nobody didn't even know it. I did what I had to do to get on my feet to get to the level where I'm at now. Now I have income. I have, thanks to God for blessing me, but I have, you know, my own means of transportation. But I wasn't always stable. So I know what it means to travel and not have a home. I've been through like the ups and downs of life. And that's why I know that no matter what you go through, you can still get insights. How many of you ever had to sleep in a homeless shelter? Let me see. Let me check that. Let me check the chats. How many of you have ever had to sleep in a homeless shelter? By a show of hands, by pressing one. How many of you have ever been homeless or ever had to live in a homeless shelter? Let me see. If you have, put ones in the comment section. If you haven't, it's fine. Don't make you a bad person. Put twos in the comment section. All right, we got one. Okay, who? 678 who? He knows what it's like. That's why I'm gonna tell you something about if you ever had to experience being homeless. You actually EC Productions. He has experienced it. If you ever experienced being homeless before, you will really see that this life is all about money. Am I lying? The ones who put up the ones, am I lying? When you was homeless, didn't it seem like the buildings and the cars and everybody passing by was just mocking you, just making a mockery out of you? Because everything you look at, it's like it's saying, I cost money for you to partake in. The buildings even look like they laughing at you. You go into a building just trying to sit down and lay your head on a desk just to get some rest. Eventually, someone going to come to you and say, "Oh, sir, you can't sleep in here. You can't sleep in here. You can't take a nap in here." They don't understand you just trying to get some sleep because you've been up all night. You can't get a good night rest being homeless. You can't. You gotta have a place to lay your head. You can't feel comfortable being homeless. And that's why I don't teach the broke profit message. Some people be like, "Oh, you don't need no money and this." You do. You have to have a place to lay your head so you can have some comfort. I don't preach that teaching of being a broke. I don't teach that doctrine of being broke mean you are spiritual. No, it doesn't. When you are spiritual, God will take care of you the same way he take care of the birds. He provide them with something to eat. So just because we are united souls, that don't mean we have to starve and look like we and dress like we don't care about ourselves, and we don't have to look unkempt and unkept. No. God don't want us to look like that. He want us to be he want us to walk with our heads high. He want us to look confident, and he want us to stay on the right path. That's all God want us to do. He will help you get rich. He'll give you a lot of money. God will give you as much as you can handle. If God give you a lot of money, you know what? That should be your lesson to be more humble. Thank you, God, for giving me this money. And the more you bless me, God, the more humble I become. That's what I'm telling God right now before everybody. The more you God give you, the more humble you should want to become. And he'll keep giving you more and more because you passed the test. You passed the test. You can take your money. I like that 67 I like that acronym. Soul, survivor of universal law. I like that 678. I like that. You know, the spirit gave you that. If that's original, I mean, that was given to you by the spirit. Things like that you got to hold on to, you know? God will give you the desires of your heart. No doubt, 678. Respect. God will give you the desires of your heart. He don't want you to be broke. He don't want you to be saying to yourself, why the HPBs can drive a nice car, but I can't have a nice car. You can have a nice car. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, as long as you don't sell out, which means compromising your spirituality to get wealth and money. If the devil's people can sell their soul for riches, money, wealth, and fame, we can do the same thing. You know how we sell, you know how we write our contract? We do it like this. God, give me wealth, and I can show you it will make me more and more humble. The devil people, they sell out and do a blood contract and sell their soul to the devil for wealth. And they have to do all of these ungodly things to get riches, not knowing that all the while they could have signed a contract with the Most High and simply said, God, give me this wealth and I'll become more and more and more and more humble. It'll only make me more and more humble. I'll take my money and help others. That's how you sell your soul to the Most High instead of selling it to the devil. God, let me get this record contract so I can rap better than these fake rappers out here. Give me the singing contract so I can sing better than these fake singers out here who's singing a bunch of nonsense. You're doing the same thing, but you're doing it in the right direction. Get what I'm saying? That's all. Like EC Productions, he got keep the commandments. Like keeping God commandments. The number one commandment, thou shalt not. Thou shalt not have no other God before thee. And in our philosophy, the number one commandment is thou shalt never sell out. And if you do that, you don't sell out, compromising your spirituality to gain wealth. That's the definition of selling out. You all good. You know what I'm saying? God will respect you just for that. If you don't sell out. So we can live in a world next to them and not even pay them no mind. We got to get to that level where you know how you live. You know how you live in a world of all types of insects and caterpillars and birds, and it's certain species in this world that you don't even know about. Deep sea ocean creatures and all types of species. You live amongst them and you don't even give a thought about them. That's how we got to be with these HPBs. We live around them, don't give a thought about them. They doing exactly what human-like animals supposed to do. They doing exactly what human-like animals supposed to do. All right, I'm about to end this, but at this time, I would like to go to the comment section. You know, I always like to give shout outs to everybody who came in. Like to say good morning to everybody. I know I surprised you all with this. Like to give a shout out to Joe Dog, Invisible Compass. You know, Joe Dog says the world is stuck in its ways, and I agree. Invisible Compass, he's representing with the acronym Truth, the right understanding of heaven. Shout out. He says, I live your info left side. That's right. It's your info too, man. It's all of our info. But I understand what you're saying. This is for the benefit of all of us. Illinois KB, what up? A2 way to advance. Ascetic Wiz in the house. We got, that's right, spiritual warfare. We got Action Potential 15 in the house. Inverted Truths. We got Bob Vegana in the house. We got Jade in the house. Shout out. We got Jaguar Media in the house. How you doing? Jaguar Media, he actually named his channel after the Jaguar, you know, mascot. So everybody should subscribe to Jaguar Media channel as well, because that's good of him to do that, you know. I wonder if he uploads some of my videos up to his channel. I just wonder if he does that. Shout out to Jaded. He says, people think I'm crazy because I don't work my life away like everyone else. They struggle to pay car payments on mediocre blob-shaped cars, live in roach-infested apartments, etc. They slave for that. Yep. Who else we got in the house? We got Rashard Mitchell. Shout out to everybody, man. We got one female in the house. She always shows up. So shout outs to I'm Shar. She says, damn, I'm all late. But as long as you made it, that's all that matters. Who else we got in the house? We got Know Thyself. These people are begging to return to slavery, left side. Yep, that's right. You made that comment earlier when I was speaking about it. That's right. I'm sure not everyone ain't meant to see this information. That's right. We got Riot Forever in the house. I shout out everybody. EC Productions in the house. Look, if each one go reach one, we could double our subscribers. If everybody just get, if everybody just bring one person to the channel, we'll double the amount of people we have, triple the amount of people. If everybody bring 2 people, then we can be a even more major force on YouTube, you know. And with that, I'm about to sign out, y'all. I got some stuff to do today. You know, I got to work still and everything. It's 9:02. Hope y'all eat a good, healthy breakfast. I got to get my little exercise in. I do my push-ups, my sit-ups. I do my shadow boxing. Um, I gotta go get my fruit cup. Yeah. So y'all, this video will be posted on the channel probably in the next 20 minutes. It'll be up for your viewing pleasure. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoy doing these live streams. Makes me feel good that I'm sharing the information, and it's reciprocal, the feedback that I'm getting, because I know it's positive people listening, and it's not like I'm talking to a brick wall, like when I'm speaking to like ignorant people. So I appreciate all y'all for coming out. And until we do this thing again, hold it down. This is Left Side of the Brain signing out. Jaguars up. Jaguars out.